Hey, this is Amber with Comma Hound, and today I'm going to talk to you about case studies. Yay! What? Okay, so I know that case studies really don't sound all that exciting. They actually sound like a lot of work, like you have to do a lot of research, turn it in with a master's thesis or something crazy like that. But the good news is that case studies are actually a whole lot simpler and a whole lot cooler than they sound, because what they are success stories. And we all have success stories, right? So why not take those success stories and write them down and put them out there for the world to see? Because here's the thing, case studies aren't just a way to show everyone how great we are. They are actually a really, really powerful marketing tool. We know this because of the Nielsen's. Now, they are the same people that do the television viewing habits and all of that, but they also do release a study every year called the Global Trust in Advertising Survey. And this survey asks one very important question: to what extent do you trust the following forms of advertisement? And the interesting thing is that year after year, by far, people say that they trust recommendations from other people more than any other form of advertising. So for example, 92% of people say they trust recommendations from somebody they know. 70% say they trust online posts. Now that blows everything else out of the water. By comparison, 47% say that they trust television advertising, and only 36% say they trust ads on social media. So that is what makes testimonials and case studies so powerful and so important. Even if the customer doesn't know the person making the recommendation, it's okay, because it still has a profound effect on how people feel about the product or service. So, how do you go about putting together a case study? Well, the easiest way to start, of course, is if you get an email or online post from a customer who's really happy with your service. You just follow up with them, ask them if they would be interested in sharing their story for your promotional materials, and they will, of course, say yes, because everybody loves to do that. And then you interview them. You either do it by phone or by email. I personally prefer phone because I feel like you can get a lot more out of people by talking to them one-on-one, but that's totally up to you. And what you want to do is you want to ask them questions about themselves, about the problem they had before they found your product, how your product or your service solved that problem, and what their life is like now. And then you take all of that information and you put it into story form. And that's another thing that makes case studies so very powerful, because we as humans are just hardwired to love stories. I mean, we love stories. And so whenever you put something into story form, really, we can't resist it. We just have to read it. So there is an actual formula that you should follow pretty closely when you are doing a case study. So it's going to be pretty simplistic and really quick, but this will give you a good idea of what to do. So 1, introduce the customer and talk about what their problem was. So for instance, this is Bob and June Jensen and their dog Chico, and no matter what toy they gave Chico, he just destroyed it, and they finally ended up in the emergency vet because he had an obstruction and they had to have surgery to remove the obstruction. And after that, they didn't give Chico any toys anymore. 2, talk about how they discovered your business and what drew them to it in the first place. So June was online one day and she saw XYZ company's advertisement for their new indestructible hippo toy, and she didn't really have much hope that, it was actually indestructible, but she thought, what the heck? They seem like a good company. Let's just go ahead and try it. 3, talk about how it solved their problem and how their lives changed because of it. So, to June's surprise, Chico not only loved the toy, he actually did not destroy it. And so now the Jensens and Chico are all very happy campers. The end. So, when putting it together, be sure to include direct quotes from the customer. That's always more powerful. And include, some really nice pictures, at least one really nice picture of it. And of course, the last thing you should do is you should push it out everywhere you can think of. You should put it on your website. You should promote it on social media, direct people to your website. You should, if you can, put it in print materials and send it out to retailers and distributors and customers. And the more people that you can send this to and get it in front of them, the better off you're going to be. So I think that's about it. I would love to hear your comments down below. Tell me if you have ever done a case study, and if you plan now to do case studies, since I know you're probably pretty excited about it now, right? And if you found this video helpful, I would really appreciate it if you would share it with friends, family, colleagues, business people, anyone you can think of. That would be great. So, and if there's anything I can ever help you with, please send me an email to amber@commahound.com or connect with me on Facebook or on Twitter. And you'll see that in the next slide. So thanks again, and until I see you next time, bye.